Anatomy of a Scream. In the catacombs of prophylactic silence blossom pink roses which augment the sky. The wind falls in. Street figures flicker, lost metallic laughter and paranoia. The shop that sells you all you ever wanted, if you're a connoisseur of the weird and unusual. Vocal parameters, something unspecified to achieve. The balconies hide many whispers. Outline of crazed mutant offending the sunset as I wheel back my postulates and wince. Lock spasms, all meaningful, cure-sustained, but unhelpful. Rusty scarabs, ugly foreboding, agony in time hangs behind me. Then absolute found precision. The divine seed reinvests in the pure soul on a distant screen. Center of the age moving into me. Steady madness crucifies my dreams. Skin has lost its price on a relapse. Voices crack shrouds of paper. Smell of roses in slipstream. Portraits hang in skull gardens, slot membranes establishing code. An acute picture swings under sweating eyelids. It mauls you at night till you wake up screaming from a scream you never left in the dark. Time in a crystal eye. Obsession with the music of wounds. Echoes of his name in the breeze. They are out there. The eyes of a child never lie, cut to pieces by the subtlest blade of wet grass. Streets of faded whispers. Off comes his face and out jump three men bearing surface. Pictures of a corpse hidden in a diamond cove. Forms a later conversation. Wind chimes tinkle and the whole garden shivers and comes alive. Distant fires rage in the gorge as we board the train without knowing. Brown triangles in the coyote's third eye burn astral magic and moods of skin into the defining cortex of perfect poetry. Blue bubble discs float through your eyes. Brainwaves slide along a series of cobwebs and ropes. Your head is sucked through and swallowed by the rays of a yawning glass yellowing moon. Deception sees you have them as sunbeams. I wanted to grow young in my old fingers. Endless desolation with the walls closing in, clutching at trinkets and talismans and hope. Unforgettable sorrow, vertebrae like jagged teeth. The eyes cannot transmit the pain you can almost taste, with eyes sealing off in the monastery. War magnets run faded scars into the ravine. Mouth open and words coming out. Her face concertinas left to right, as blue, dusty smoke emanates from the forehead and motions across to leave gold at my rainbow. Pure elements, owls in a heartbeat, wizened in some other hand. Paper the sky without trying, rescue my eyeballs. Spastic hands emerge to right my mistakes. Cold knees and the bike won't go any faster. Uphill in a headwind and afraid. From the barrels of introspection, primal rivers in the sky, a firefly dies in the mist. All cuneiform shapes and primal patterns, magical discs, concentric old dream mountains, broken and powdered to dust. Life is a collapsed battery. A child shot in a razor blade suitcase. I was. Looked at be a writer. We didn't in my brain. For the decomposed soul tears of need, then I and those who are bleeding bow out. It's your desperate book, you think. Lost in a vertical power slide, stutters, hysterics and giggling. Our own autumn day without a face, and my eyes are naked and indefensible. Second man's endless self to his hollow glass door, my hands taste of screams. Razor blades of change, I landscape hell's collapsible scenery, chain colours. Pain is a relative use TV doubt. The impact polystyrene paper wind calling skeletons torn apart. These bicycles in the dark geometry. Squeaking consideration in grey mist, old suns. The tyranny of myth came for my soul in its insolence. Scared and so clean. Can you imagine a detained hour lasting 30-odd centuries, at least? Infidelity is two men in my philosophy think day, pausing for asking for sex. Fold-out transaction of the river. Hand in wet cover, flailing the body. Rusted scissors. Keys to the athletic sun. The best rain isolated and watching me. His eyes disappeared like red roses falling into snow. We only yearn for God in a world which makes it necessary. Death the elimination outside. Epigrams of twisted metal. Bruised machines bleed forever, melting their veins into the awkward and saturated landscape. The noise startles a bird who takes off to the direction of the sun. Masks of improbable sunlight as children are the prophets of everything. Gliding fox over snake hills, his eyes beaming orange. The deep blue sky disappears into his pelt, and the eyes explode like static, calming flakes in your mind. The whistling wind sneaks between the garages and plunges the river filth. The sky collapses into subcutaneous membranes of the earth. Nations are kicked into the air, strangled, crippled by whiplash, and crumbled like dried beetle shells under thousands of government-issue boots. The man guiding the donkey keeps tapping my thigh for some change. I just shrug and point to our destination, 200 years into the next 13 seconds. We tear it to raw meat shreds on the plains, shitting out bones on traffic that emanate ghostly steps up to the mushroom-coloured curtains and sink. Two bitten eyes of the cobra study the monk's itching forehead as he turns ashen on Adrenaline 1. Dragon-eyed lotus leaves, carp-streaked light visions into the climaxing mountains behind the drifting moon that transfixes me over the pond. Annotated manuscripts pass hands between interested parties, eating raw, peeling flesh from other people's faces, the prototype for a lifetime in picture and word. You are as big as your breath and small as the universe, sweet child. God is not dead. He never existed. It is just a writer's long-time con, proliferated as the objective sanctity, which justifies the evening air lunging out with frail pseudopodia. The eyes, alas, captured screaming, that bile-twisting cancelled expression of absolute martyrdom they could not help but choose to clothe, hoof, and support. On the table, a lagoon of roses aches into the vase. Sick, twisted fantasies hang like meat in an abattoir, each marketed to the perfect buyer who will safeguard the price from ever dying. Memorandum from the war room. 6-gun dragons. Bad havoc in the cutting room. Call immediately. Time is running out. We need to do something monstrous before we die. Evolution raises competition and a nest of gruesome tortures. Science writer is biology's big casino waitress. Human hate corporations are self-replicating. It's a numbered, visitor-oriented fixation of life. Welcome to the quiet planet. Welcome the abnormal faces we are only too willing to cut. Welcome this hostile and shifty love, straining to God against gravity through no other reason than being desperate for its money back.